he's literally a second cousin to me.
Yeah.
Like a close person in my circle. So I was like, oh yeah, what happened? Oh, I told him I got a new job. Oh, that's why you have this car, innit? Oh yeah. And I'm looking and it's like,
You're trying to count the pockets and work it
yeah,
out.
like this has nothing to do at all. Like I wanted to get this because I literally live, it would take me an hour to get to the closest train station sometimes. So I have to have this. But because of that kind of like, different people are assessing their status at different...
the forest, bro, not the sticks.
It's literally just farmland. Just farmland behind my house. But yeah, it's like people are always like adjusting and checking, doing these checks and balances with you, with what they see.
They look you up and down.
Again, with the idea of like, if you say how much you earn on like a platform like this, someone's going to hear that and be thinking, oh yeah, that makes sense. I saw this, I saw that. Yeah. They'll connect dots that don't even exist. And it can create like a tension. So I think that adds to why in the UK, there's a kind of like a resistance to talk about money so much. I also think though, most of us just don't know what we're talking about. So when it comes to like, oh yeah, I earned it, like you don't know. A lot of people don't know what tax bracket they're in until someone sits them down and like, this is why. Some people don't know like how you're going to be taxed like this, and tax is something that affects everyone. That's why I'm using that. You're going to be taxed like this, but this is how it actually breaks down. We don't know that, let alone what we can invest in, what our money's really worth, what inflation means. So one person has a certain amount in one country, another person has another amount in another country.
They don't want you to know.
It means completely different things, really, in actual terms.
Yeah.
But we don't know that. Like, I don't. I've only 2 weeks ago, I learned what inflation was and how it really affects your pocket. But before that, 20 plus years, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's mad.
All right, so coming off that, being good with money and being bad with money. Like, would you say to yourself personally that you're good with money or bad with money, or have you been bad and you've gotten better? And like, what was the turning point? Like, so for instance, for me, turning point was 4 years ago when I was having my son. I didn't care. I was one of those people that used to walk around, oh no, I don't care about money, man. Very stupid. But because nobody ever made money important to me. My mum never made like, yo, get your money. I saw a meme the other day that was saying, right, if I knew how to get money like this, I would have started working from 4. And it's true, because you grow up and it's like, money, pay this, pay. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, whoa, no one ever said this to you. And then you're struggling, doing 5 jobs, doing all of this because you need money. But no one ever told you how to do it.
It's mad.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like back to what I was saying. I was my son was being born, and I just had the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I bought it like a couple months. I never picked it up, and I thought, you know what, might be the perfect time to pick it up since I'm going to become a dad. Do you know what I mean? In the week that I was staying in the hospital, I finished the book, and then that's for me when I started like taking money seriously and saying, yo, money's a real serious thing. You know, like you have to start understanding it, not just like, oh, get a job and go spend it, because even saving, that's what it's usually get the money, spend it. Something that is in between, there's save, there's invest. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's all kinds of things, but usually it's get money, spend it. So what in terms of like money with you guys, like what would you say? You good with money, bad with money? Or when was the thing where he's like, nah, I need to get better with this thing, you know, because this thing is just finishing my life?
I would say I was bad and got quite good at it in terms of managing and putting my money in the right places. So the same book. There was a turning point similar to you actually. I was having my son. He's 7 now, so it was a good 7 years ago. But it was slightly before that where I also had the same like attitude, like it's money in it. Like my mum always says, when you make money, save it. But there was no save it and then. And there was no beyond reason. That point. You did that, like there was nothing basically. So I didn't understand it. So it became get that money, save it, and then maybe spend a little bit. But long story short, I tried to get a car, like in my probably about early to mid 20s, and then it just spiraled out of control because the insurance was too high, my salary wasn't enough at the time, so on and so forth, and then you get yourself into debt, and then literally I educated myself. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I just also just researched about money and also literally Google how do rich people get rich. I literally typed that into Google. And it's weird because there's like a list of answers. Like they don't do what I do basically, or what the normal 20% tax bracket person does, which is just you get money from through PayYE and you pay your tax and then you pay your bills. You do that to your 60 something and you die. They don't do what we do basically. Some of them invest and all the rest of it. But I'd say even now, I get into things like buying shares and also shares that pay dividends and all the rest of it. like little bits. So you don't have to put 10 bags or 100,000. Like no one realistically has that cash in my circle anyway. So I just thought, you know what? Let me just start off small and put money here, clear debts and all the rest of it. And when you start doing it really slowly, you don't realize it actually adds up. You get to a certain position or certain like space in a sense. And I realized that, all right, I'm doing okay. I'm not doing too bad. Obviously, you still get paid your salary and I still want to be self-employed. But yeah, I got way better. But at one point, it was really bad. And I think that as well, I feel like, well, I'm talking from a male's point of view, but I feel like if I spoke about this when I was younger with other men that could have been in my position or I could have helped it could have helped me basically. And I just felt like I should have just literally spoke to someone and they would have they didn't even have to educate me like that, but just be like, bro, if you can't pay your debts in one go and if you're not saving your money, just do this and do this. It's simple steps. And then you just work your way up basically. It's not as simple as I made it sound, just as a disclaimer. But literally it was...
Maybe it is.
I feel like
there's prep work.
Yeah.
Said what I've said.